Your favorite Purple Pants main is back again with the third part of the Hulk Guide little series, where I'm going over the fundamentals of Hulk that if you execute, you won't be told to switch, right, off your favorite character, the Hulk, right? This one we're going to be going over the supports, right? We went over the tanks in the first video I put out the other day, and then the DPS, which is a really long video because there's so many DPS. But now we're on to the supports. It's not that gonna be that complicated in this video, because the supports are so broken now, so it's gonna be hard for you to really, and already Hulk doesn't really have that much crazy immediate value that he's able to bring against them outside of using really your ult, right? But either way, it's still important to know what you need to know. I still give my tips where needed, and just again to help prevent the evergreen issue of the Hulk, which unfortunately is.
You can't keep getting away with it!
So yeah. Anywho, let's get into the video. Hope you guys enjoy it. Again, thanks for the reception on the previous two videos, the tank edition and the DPS edition. And yeah guys, let's get into it. What's good guys? We're back with the third part of the Hulk guide. Now we're on to the supports, right? So we did tanks, we did DPS. So now we're at the final section about the fundamentals of the value that you can bring with Hulk, so you don't have to be, you know, told to switch off the big green guy, right? Now in this, first of all, thanks for the reception on the other two videos. Happy that I'm able to at least, I'll say it right now, I'm not that good at this game, right? I play this game because I'm someone who actually has all grown up loving the Marvel characters. I love the DC characters too, but you know, DC is not really that serious in terms of competition. But I've played it enough, and I've watched people who are way better than me at this game play like a character like Hulk, and I figure, you know, I may as well put what I've learned out there to people to see, you know, if I can give it an easier time for you guys. Anyway, so on to supports. They honestly, I was thinking about it, right? You don't have that much, especially this season, because the supports are so broken. You don't have that much that you can do value wise, at least directly, because again, they're so strong. Like Invisible Woman, for example, playstyle wise, she has so many options now. She has a push, she has the ability to pull you in, drop down the AoE thing that chip damages you, right? Primary attack you to death, and then another DPS can come in and shred you. She can jump away, and go invisible, and then she has a self shield. So she, like, supports is a lot different from what it used to be, right? They're so strong now. But in any case, if you are to try to, for example, go on an Invisible Woman, right? She has so many options now. You have to take it out to your head that you're gonna jump her and kill her, right? So she has so many options, right? So your best bet is to jump in and try and bait out some of her cooldowns to make it an easier time for your DPS to secure the kill on her, right? So if you jump on her, and again, remember to be disciplined, right? If you are in a team fight and you see her there by herself, you can jump on her and start punching her, right? And see if she'll use something. See if she'll pop not her self shield, but see if she'll pop. The self shield lasts so long and is so strong. If you can get out her push or her jump, that's huge, especially the jump, right? And then when you see that, you can ping to your team or communicate with your team like, oh, she has no jump, right? Or if you see that somebody tried attacking her on your team and you see that she used her jump, that's a great time to jump on her. Because now you can force out her push. And when she doesn't have any to push, right? Now she becomes a high priority for her team to protect, right? So now your whole team can focus her, and then you might have a good chance of killing her, right? Which Hulk can do, because Hulk can jump in and focus her, whereas someone like Magneto can't really do that, other than shooting from afar, which requires really good aim. So yes, you can. You're not gonna be jumping in on her to try to sneak up on her and kill her. You can't really do that. You could do that before, even though before she still had her jump and stuff. Because of the self shield, it just makes it so I guess brain dead is the best word for it. Just put the shield on and you're good, right? Then you have to jump away, because then somebody on her team's gonna look at you and then they're gonna again pump damage into you, right? The Bucky or Punisher, like I said in the other video. So only reason why you should be jumping on her is to bait her her push or her jump out, right? Two most valuable things. For the shield, it's one thing. You can't really do much about that. That's Hulk, at least. If you can, and this is for any support, if you're in a team fight, if you can excel support, that's a lot of value, because you're slowing down the heals, especially if you can do it when one of your DPS uses their ult, for example. Like if a Hella ult's on your team, right, and you're able to exile one of the support, especially if the support was already out of position, because now if everybody else scatters away to hide and the support is just stuck there in the middle, right, the DPS, Hella's probably going to be able to kill her, right? She won't have time to escape, right? She might jump and get her invisible thing, but still more likely to get her in that scenario. Let me see, back to support. Yeah, so like in terms of playstyle, there's really not much to say. I mean, if now that Ultron got buffed, so this is good. Now that Ultron got buffed, people are gonna use him way more. So because of that, means more air stuns. But again, any smart player who's playing Ultron is going to play deep in his team and high up, right? Far high up that you can't really get the jump on him. But in a team fight, which always will happen in a team fight, when both teams are kind of in each other's territory in some way, right, you're gonna see opportunities to go on off angle and jump and air stun him, right? Again, it's better to try and jump at an Ultron or a flyer from the side than from directly in front of them, because their movement is just from the side is just up and down, not up, down, left, right, bottom, left, bottom, right, top, left, top, right, this way, that way. It's just up, down, up, down. So it's a lot easier for you to stun him, right? And easier to hit an exile on him too, which means you can probably kill him, right? Like Gambit, I mean, you can't really push him. Guy has too much. He has too much. You can't really push him. So I wouldn't try to mess with Gambit either, unless again team fight, people have already died on their team, then you can push him, right? If you're going against, I know that I know that Luna got that change where she has the self snowflake or whatever, but she's still someone that you can go after for sure, because she doesn't have the crazy movement abilities or the immediate movement abilities. If she starts moving in one direction, she starts to skate away. But so if you can go on a Luna, it's still good. If you are going to go on a Luna Snow, where is this chick? There she is. You're punching her, and you she has her freeze, right? You're gonna have to use your jump, like say the Luna's right here and she's starting to back up from me and I'm coming onto her, right? I can use the wall to my side to jump around and potentially avoid her freeze, right? Or if I'm punching her, I jump high up to see if I can bait her out of her freeze, right? That's a fundamental thing you have to keep in your mind. If you're gonna jump on a Luna, don't be greedy. Punch a couple times, jump and see if she uses it. She might not have it, right? And if you see her use it when she's not like this, she's just in the team fight, and you see her use it, then you can know, okay, she has nothing. She cannot protect herself, right? That's a good time to jump on her, right? Great time, especially if she's not communicating with her team, right? Let's see. You know, Adam Warlock is always good to go on because he has nothing either. No movement. He just has a lot of heals for himself and the soul bond, and then he does a lot of damage. It's the same thing. At that point, you're gonna want to, if you're gonna jump on him, put in your damage, punch, your clap. Try and use your movement before you're forced to use your bubble. This is again provided the team fight's already going on and maybe people have already died on their team. You don't want to be jumping on the supports if their whole team is there and they have a lot of damage when you're Hulk, at least to me. Just don't do it unless you're going to do it and jump out as quickly as you can, because it's too risky. It's too risky. Or if there's like another diver on your team like Venom. Now you see, if you're playing with a diver like Venom, then you can actually jump on the supports because you're actually helping the Venom, right? You're helping the Venom because they're going to be looking at the Venom more than the Hulk actually in that instance, right? But if it's just like you and a Magneto and a bunch of hit scan, it's not worth it, right? But if the team fight's already been happening and people have died, they lost a tank and maybe a DPS, great time to jump in, right? Go for their most valuable people at that point, which is a support. And again, if you're going to approach it from an off angle, right? Don't just jump head on, right? Just be, unless it's like, you know, 2 people left on their team, then it don't matter, right? Because your whole team is with you. But Hulk, he's so easy to just explode with damage. It's just best to be consistent and approach from a side angle than directly in front of them or from behind, one or the other. And you know, Mantis is the same thing. If you're going on a Mantis, you're gonna want to be looking out for a sleep, which is a big AoE, like I guess hitbox or so. So that one you definitely, if you're gonna jump on her, definitely be looking to jump high up into the air, because at least you're more than like, she's gonna throw it on the ground. So if you jump high up into the air and she uses it, it won't hit you. Then she's completely vulnerable, right? Another thing, remember what I said in the last video about the bunny hop. This is gonna be very clutch because there have been many times where I jump to a support and I'm punching and I'm just out of range, and they start backing up and I'm getting no value, right? I'm not getting any damage in. It's very big if you're gonna jump on them, especially if you're gonna jump on them head on, which again, it can happen, you know, where you just jump on them head on. If you bunny hop like I just did there, you're gonna close the distance a little bit more and get close enough that you're gonna start punching them, right? Especially someone like Mantis, because she has such quick movement speed. This is gonna be clutch, right? It'll allow you to immediately, the second you land, be doing damage, right? And you're technically a little bit of a harder target now, because you're doing a little bunny hop as well. So but that's a decent little tip. You see, if you're gonna jump on them, it's always worth it to just do that little bunny hop, I would say, right? Many times you'll jump on them and I'm telling you, you're not in range with your punches, and then they get healed, and then it's you miss out on a potential kill or pressure, etc. It's the same thing with Loki. Well, So if it's a good Loki and he's gonna be teleporting between clones, you can't do much about that. If you see him up on like a high ground spot, you can contest him, force him to move, right? Because your Hulk, you can get to wherever you want to, because you can jump as high as you want and wherever you want. You can, I mean, yeah, like again, it's just you don't do enough damage to really be posed that much of a threat to a lot of these characters outside of if again people on their team have already died. That's why there's not much to really say in terms of that. Now, if you're going against like a Jeff and a Rocket, there's really not much point for you to dive them because they're too slippery, right? You're not gonna jump on a Rocket and be able to do much to him because he can easily dash away, climb a wall. If he does climb the wall though, there's one thing you can do. Is the same thing with Venom, same thing I said about Daredevil, Black Panther, right? If you jump on the Rocket from an off angle right here and you start punching him and he runs to the wall, right? You come up close to the wall, you see him running, you can jump right up into him and then you get the air stun, which means it's gonna be probably a guaranteed kill on the Rocket, which is huge value, right? Some Rockets, so the second they climb, they go to the side. Can't really do much at that point. Unless if they climb really high up and then go to the side, you can jump into that area where they're running horizontally towards and then air stun them that way. But more than likely though, like you're not gonna get a Rocket, you're not gonna get a Jeff because the Jeff can jump into the underground and you can't air stun a Jeff either. So even if he climbs on a wall or even if he goes onto a wall, you can't air stun a Jeff. You can't kill the Jeff. Like if he jumps, if he's already low, if he's already half health, for example, like say you jump on him, you punch and then you clap, and then you see him dive underneath the ground, right? Because Hulk is so easy to heal away at your damage, at your health. You jump into the area and he jumps and he's still moving. You can keep on consistently causing damage to his health bar, and then you might be enough that you can kill him. It might be, right? Especially if he's already used up his time to be underground, then you can definitely potentially kill him, right? But more than likely though, it's gonna be hard for you to kill those two, so it's not as valuable for you to go on them, I would say, especially because Jeff's, what's it called, this thing right here, that when he hits Hulk with it causes him to, what's the word, it basically, it's a form of soft CC, right? It can reset your jump if I'm correct too, right? So it's really annoying. That's why going on a Jeff, it's not really that worth it, I would say. Yeah, that's all I can really say about Playstyle. Like I said, there's not that much to say. Now, what to do when you ult? Same thing. There's really not, at least in terms of, I think I'm gonna alright, we'll just, what to do when you ult. So this section will actually not only just be talking about how to avoid when they try to counter your ult with their ult, and also how to actually kill the supports, both when they're not ulting and when they do ult, right? Because you can't do that as Hulk, right? Now, the main counter, one of the biggest counters to Hulk in this game, in terms of ultimate wise, that you can use when you're going against the Hulk is Jeff's ult, right? So this is another one of those things where if you are in a game and you're Hulk and you do damage in the first round or in the first point or whatever, they're gonna switch to this guy too. Just like how they'll switch to Bucky and Punisher, or they'll switch to Emo, or to Penny, they will switch to this guy. They will actually switch to this guy more likely than a lot of those other characters, because especially if you got value in your ultimate, right? When Hulk ults, right, a lot of Jeffs, the second they see you ult, they will immediately use their ult and swallow you, and completely negate your ultimate completely and spit you out over the um to die to fall damage, or just take you with them and kill you, right? The one of the most annoying things to deal with. You can counter it though. Um, if you know that Jeff has ult and you ult and you hear him use it, if you ult next to somebody, you can grab them. When you grab them, you can't be CC'd, you can't be swallowed, right? That's one thing you can do. Generally though, they're just gonna hold the ult unless you ult, and it's gonna be hard. So if you ult, for example, nobody's around you and you hear the Jeff ult, you can cling to a wall. It sucks, but this is what you can do. You can cling to a wall and wait out. Hopefully he sees you do that and then he panics and then goes for somebody else, and it gives you at least 3 seconds. 3 seconds is really all you need to at least get some big damage on the team, because Hulk's clap does so much damage and it goes through everybody, so at least you get something out of it. But really and truly, or another thing you can do, it's gonna be hard, right? They have Jeff, right? It's gonna be hard though. This is why I said it's so important if you off angle. So say that Jeff has ult and he's already swallowed you, right? Team fight's happening. Everybody's on both ends of the battlefield, right? And you jump from off angle, you exile him, and then you do the one shot combo, right? Kill him, or even if the other healer is there, it still gives you enough time to at least bring some form of value, because you've grabbed their healer, which now puts pressure on the other healer, right? And the whole team's gonna be looking at you now, right? That's one thing you can do, right? But to be honest, it's not the best value. Your best bet, if you're going into Jeff and he's just waiting for you to ult, your best bet is to try to focus him more than anybody else, right? This is the one time where I'm saying like it's worth it to go on someone like Jeff and potentially kill him, because if you kill him, then it's a free ult. Or if you see someone on your team kill him, you have to ult. You have to ult, even if they have a support ult, because at least now what's the word? Now you've brought value, right? In some way, in disruption, because the disruption that Hulk ult causes is still value in itself too, right? But it's really hard to play against. I can't lie. There's not much like strong counter you can do other than wait for him to be impatient and use his ult elsewhere, which is honestly, that's probably your best bet. Can't lie, right? Because Jeff's ult is probably consistently more valuable of an ult than Hulk's ult. So even if you're not able to use your ultimate for a whole round, right? It's worth for the Jeff to do the same thing, right? Which he won't. Like, if you wait, eventually he will, because there's going to be opportunities where he has to use it to save his team, or he has to use it to confirm, killing everybody to win the point, right? And when that happens, now, provided you know where the other support ult is, right, which is the next part I'm going to talk about, you can then ult safely and not have to deal with support ult at all, and not have to deal with Jeff swallowing you, right? And now you have no excuse. Now you have to bring some form of value, right? But against Jeff ult, your best bet really is to just wait for him to use it. What you can do, it's not the best, you can ult on high ground, because now the Jeff's gonna have to move to high ground to get to you. Or like I said, if you ult and you hear him ult, just cling to a wall and wait, cling to a wall and wait, and hopefully he uses it. Which I've seen people do. Like they'll see like I'll cling to a wall, then they see that and then they use the ult elsewhere because they panic, right? And then it gives me at least 4 or 5 seconds of my ult to do something. But this is the main counter you're gonna have to deal with. The main counter again. If you ult and you hear Jeff ult as well, and somebody's right in front of you, just grab them. Don't even do the one-shot combo. Just grab them. Just grab them, and then you'll survive his swallow. But yeah, that's the main counter. There's not really any other support ult where like the counter is a direct immediate counter, as in like if the cloak and dagger ults when I ult, then yeah, it kind of screws me over. But the Jeff ult can literally kill you immediately, alright? Or at least take off your whole time to do anything at all. It's cloak and dagger ult, you can still do something, which we're gonna talk about next. Oh, by the way, I completely forgot to say it. There is one particular ability that you have as Hulk that completely negates one of the support ults, which is the bubble when you use it against Jeff's ult, right? So that's going to be just like in the other two videos I said, where when you're going against a character whose ultimate you can completely negate with your bubble. The same concept. If you know that Jeff has ult, or at least time has gone on and you assume he has it, it's going to be on you to save and hold your bubble safely. And how you do that is you don't peek, you stay with your support, right? You wait, right? You can still poke, clap when needed, but don't be jumping in on even the tanks. Don't be jumping in on the front line trying to do damage, because all it takes is one of them to use their abilities on you, CC abilities, to pull you in or something, and then you explode, then you use your bubble, then you die, then the Jeff ults, then your team gets eaten and killed, right? Whereas if you're holding it and you're waiting, right, when you hear it, you look to where your supports are, you look to where the rest of your team is, and you jump towards them and you protect them. If it's like, if you're on a team with someone like Gambit, he can obviously dash away. If you're on a team with somebody like Luna or Mantis, or yeah, you're gonna want to jump to the Luna or the Mantis because they don't have as much movement ability, so the Jeff will probably try to swallow them, right? Or one of your tanks, right? By that point, jump towards your team, right? Maybe if you can communicate, I have bubble, so that way everybody huddles up with you, and wait until you see the circular area where Jeff is gonna swallow, and then use your bubble. Crazy value, right? Very important. I forgot to say it in the video, but that's very important. If you're going against Jeff, you're gonna be waiting and holding your bubble safely to save your whole team. But yeah, and also, like I said in the video with the bunny hop, if you aren't where your team is and you see where the rest of your team is, using the bunny hop to get closer. But you might jump, right? Because you don't have much time. You might jump a little early and not get enough ground on your jump to bubble everybody. But if you jump and you realize, oh, I might not have gotten as close enough as I needed, or you see your team backing up, which people will do, they'll back away from you because they're panicking. You can bunny hop and get a little bit closer and then bubble, right? This is again though, don't jump. If you don't see the ring on the floor, don't use the bubble too early. You're gonna be using it when you hear the sound and you see the ring go off on the floor, right? But yeah, that's all you gotta do. So if this is where I'm gonna go into juggling now, right? Which I said before, I didn't really want to speak about in these guides because it's so hard to pull off now because of so much CC, but it is still a valuable to know. So let me see here, let me set this up. Yeah, so now we're into this area. So invisible woman ults like right now, right? What you can do is, which I know a lot of you guys probably know what juggling is. If you don't know what juggling is, it's where you go into your Hulk ult, you knock up enemy, right? You jump into them, you knock them up again, and then your body air stuns into them, right? And it allows you to carry them across the direction that you jump. Right? It allows you to basically assassinate people as Hulk when you're in your Hulk ult, um, or take them out the fight completely. It's like a stun lock in a way, right? So say the invisible one ults, you see her jump, right, into it as well. So she jumps into it to use her ult, and you know where she is. She's right in front of you. So I get this first try, right? You can juggle her out of the ult into this area where her ult isn't and kill her, right? Because you just air stun her. She has no abilities accessible because she's stun locked, right? And it allows you to kill her completely, right? So you can do this against Invisible Woman, Cloak and Dagger. Yeah, that's it. And if you know Loki copies the Invisible Woman or the Cloak and Dagger, you can do the same thing, right? You can't really do it against Luna if she ults. Well, you can't because she's non-CCable, right? Don't think you can do it against Mantis though. It's gonna be real hard to do it against. Now, if like the Invisible One ults and the Rocket is there, it's gonna be hard because he's so small and quick. But if you get a jump on him, you can do it, but you have to do it how I did it right there. Because there are two ways that you can juggle somebody. So there's the safe way. So say the Invisible One jump, so I know she has no jump at all, right? And I get a jump on her. You can, I messed it up. You can knock her up in the sky 2 times, right? To guarantee that you get the stun, right? Because if you do it this way, even there I missed it. It's not easy. Right, it's really easy to mess that up, right? So instead of you pressing the primary button once, right, then immediately releasing, not immediately, like a little bit after you hit them up in the air once, you immediately release the jump button, and as you're jumping towards them, you press the primary button again, right? And you make sure you jump into the path that they are currently at. Once you knock them up there, you jump into that path. So your body, right? Your body runs into them. Instead of doing it that way, you would knock them up twice, which allows you to have them in that range. Because if you knock, the reason why you knock them up, why you're knocking them up twice in both instances, is because they're past the range point where someone can be air stunned. Because even if somebody's in the air, if they're low enough in the air, they're not going to be air stunnable, right? So the first way I just did it, where I knocked them, then I jumped, then I knocked them again, it's done because it's much harder to use one of your movement abilities to escape. And it's much harder to stop me from getting you into that sunlock, right? The other way is safer, right? Because you're knocking them up 2 times in the air, right? It gives you time to really position the jump arrow where you need it to be, and then you just jump, and it's an easy air stun. Easy air stun, right? You're only gonna do that one when you knock them up twice first, then jump. If you know, for example, if the Invisible Woman ulted, you know she has no jump, like you saw her use it, right? Because you know now she has no movement ability, right, where she can avoid you safely knocking her up twice. If you knock her up twice and you hesitate, but when you knock someone up, they get into a CC state. They can't do anything. They can't dodge nothing, right? But it wears off. And then if it wears off and you hesitate and you try to knock her up twice and you hesitate to jump, she can jump away, right? So if you're not sure if she has it, that's when you're gonna wanna do the knock up once, jump, and then knock up again, and then you're gonna get the air stun, right? No way she's gonna be able to avoid it. It's not easy to do though. This is why I said I didn't really talk about it. It's not that easy to pull off consistently, especially when you're getting frozen or you're getting Jeff spat on or you hear diamond form go off. There's a lot of things that can go off that can not only, even if they don't even hit you with it, it mentally makes you right mess up on your juggles, right? But this is what you can do. So if the invisible woman ults, this is something that you can do. Like say you ulted and the invisible woman then drops her ult, right? That's gonna be your time to shine. That's gonna be your time to hit that juggle, right? It's gonna be your time to find her. If you see her jump back to where she is. Knock, right? Knock twice, and then jump towards her. And then you're gonna easily be able to kill her outside of the ult, right? Because at that point, too.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
If you knock her out of her ult, get one of these, right? When you get her out, you're gonna want to knock her up again and pull her further away from the ult area, right? And you're gonna be getting more damage out on her. But by then, you're gonna kill her. Because sometimes you knock her out, if you manage to knock her out of her ult, and the other support sees and they start healing her, right? Then it's bad. Then it's bad, right? But yeah, that's one of the main really strong things that Hulk can do is he can juggle people, right? For support, it's really huge if you're able to do it. It's not easy, as I said, but this is what you can do to really put your impact on the game. Obviously, I said before in the DPS video, right, about the one-shot combo. Oh, it went away. My bad. Right, but a one-shot combo
3, 2, 1.
allows you to, if there's only one healer, right? If there's only one healer, you can completely, immediately kill a support if they're in range of your grab. All you do it is you do a primary, a clap, and then the grab, and you do it in one quick succession. Just like that. So see how when I did that, the clap came out, but it kind of got animation cancelled. That's why you want to do it in one quick succession. So it's clap, or sorry, not clap. Primary, clap, then grab. Right? Primary, clap, then grab. In a smooth, quick succession. Right? If you just grab her, it's not going to kill her. This is the other thing, the grab is bugged. I don't know if you saw that. Sometimes you'll grab and they move a little bit out of the range and then it doesn't go through. It's stupid. Basically, she didn't die from that. But if you do the punch, clap, grab, she will die every single time if the other healer is already dead, right? Guaranteed kill. That's the main thing about the supports. So it's if one healer is dead, perfect time to use your Hulk ult and wipe their team. Perfect time, right? Or if you ulted, you see one of the supports died, or you killed one of the supports yourself with your claps. Just jump towards the healer and do the one-shot combo. You kill them every single time. Same thing with Cloak and Dagger. If Cloak and Dagger ults, you can juggle her out of the range of her, the cloak, you know, I don't even know what it's called. The carpet blanket energy based thing that heals and causes damage to your, or heals her team and causes damage to your team. You can, so it's actually really easy to do too, because the second she uses her cloak ult, right, and you see her land at the last point, right, you just exile her, you go into your ult, exile her again, right, And again, this is where if you master the first way, which is you knock up, so primary first, then you jump, you wait a second after you, a little bit of time after you hit her up into the air, then you jump directly towards her, and then you punch her again, you'll get the air stun, right? This is where using that way is really, really important, because if she's already in cloak form, right? If she's already in cloak form, she's gonna be able to fade, right? So if you do it the second way, like I said, where you knock her up twice and then you jump into her, right? She's gonna fade that immediately. She's gonna be spamming that right click to fade, right? Which is bad. Then you haven't killed her. She gets to vanish and go straight back into her healing area, right? So that's where the first juggling trick comes really in handy. You can kill her completely out of her ulti. Again, just same thing. Carry her away from it, and you can knock her up again and do the same thing. And then you'll probably kill her by then. And then the whole team loses that fight because now her support ult got completely denied, right? Again though, it's not easy. It won't be easy to do. It will not be easy to do. But that's what you can do. I think that's it. Like I said, there's not much to say about the support. It's very, what's the word? It's not that complicated, I would say. Yeah, that's basically it. Yeah, I think I don't know what that there's not. I mean, if Rocket puts down his revive, try to take care of it, but that's really all that there is to this. Really look for those one-shot combo opportunities, because that's huge, easy value, right? Really easy value. The second you know one support is dead, you may as well use your ult and just kill the other support, and then you kill the rest of the team, right? And it gives your team so much. If you're doing a convoy map, it gives your team so much ground. Especially because Hulk ult can be denied so easily, and it's skill based, right? Even if nobody uses anything against you, and you can still not end up doing anything because you just miss your claps, or you miss the juggle, or the team uses their basic cooldowns on you to avoid you. So killing a support with a one-shot combo is very easy to do. As I said, once you get the hang of it, it's very easy. But yeah, that's basically it. Drop a like, comment, subscribe. I'm probably going to I might do, because I like doing guides based on the characters that are already kind of like weak, especially this season. Like, I know Iron Man is another character who I liked using a lot in this game, and I know he just gets shot on by every DPS, so I might do a guide on him next. But this is my favorite character to use in this game, so I want to talk about him. But yeah, drop a like, comment, subscribe. And yeah guys, I hope the video was informative. I hope the whole 3 videos, the tank edition, the DPS edition, and this edition, were of really good value. As I said, I'm not all that at this game. I'm really not all that, right? I know what I've learned, and I know that when you play a Hulk, this is what you have to deal with. So I hope it helped in some way. Or if you're a new player and you haven't used Hulk before and you want to use him, these are just some tips I put out a lot of tips. These are just some tips that can help you to, play the character and not be told to switch, and not be told to get off the character, right? But yeah.